All right. Welcome back to another episode of the There Will Be Bond podcast. We're going to do it slightly different again because we've got some life getting in the way over there on Zoom. Is Rob Smith. How are we doing today, Rob?
Hello, I'm very hot as you are too. It's sweltering here in the UK at the moment, isn't it?
Well, Rob, you know what it's like when anytime there's an anomaly with the weather, I always blame you because
Yeah,
you celebrate weather like it's Christmas every day.
yeah.
And now
I
we're
mean,
all
I'm not.
sweating our nuts off.
I know it's been a bit unbearable today. 31. I don't know what 32. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's in the 90s, isn't it? For our friends who work in Fahrenheit, it's just unbearable at the moment. But we crack on.
So anyway, let's try and get through this as best we
Yeah,
can. The thing
yes.
is, we can't even put the AC on or the fans because obviously
Nope.
that comes through the microphones.
Yep.
And I'm sitting in this summer house, which has just been a sweat
And I'm
box.
and I'm upstairs in my office in a cottage with a small roof, so the heat rises. I've had this fan on all day, and I can't have it on now.
At
So
least you got one fan.
let's just crack on and get this over as soon as
Get
possible.
fucking through this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are on episode 90, covering minutes 117 and 118 of Casino Royale. I've got it written down here. Hope
Yep,
that's
that's
right.
correct.
And
Yes.
well, Rob, since I saw you last, which was a couple of weeks ago, but since I spoke to you last, have you been up to anything Bondian?
So a couple of things. So the first thing was at the weekend. There was a showing on Sky Arts of Sean Connery versus James Bond, which is quite an old film now. And I was thought I hadn't seen that. I don't remember watching that. So I marked it out, thought, I'm going to record that. I'm going to watch that. I don't remember that. And then I sat down and watched it. And then about halfway through, I thought, I have seen this. I remember this now. But it was, I don't know why I thought I hadn't seen it, but it was good. It was worth seeing it again. Have you seen it?
I can't remember. Sean Connery versus James Bond.
You probably have, like me.
What's the
It's really
gist?
good. It's worth watching if you haven't seen it.
What is
So
it? A
it's
documentary or a spoof
yeah,
or a
it's like a 90-minute documentary about Sean and his relationship with Bond and the Bond films and everything that happened after that. It's very, very good.
oh, what were your main takeaways? Put your bloody wine down, you're talking.
Well,
You just thought for a second there, that was it. What did
I
I
thought
do?
you
That
I
was Bondian. I've watched the
well
documentary I'd already seen. Now here's a guzzle of wine.
I know. I thought. Well, it's just so hot. I need something. Um, yeah. No.
Lovely.
It was. Yeah. That, there's a. I tell you, what was really good was seeing all the old cine footage of I think it might have been a BBC interview that a guy did at his house in Acton that I went to
You
recently.
did. You went to his place in Acton.
Yeah. And it was all there and they were filming from Acton Park. And I was like, oh my God, there it is. There's the house. And then he opened the front door and the guy went in and he sat in the front room with Diane and Sean. I was like, oh my God, there's the house that's literally down the road from my office and from you. So
Yeah.
that was really cool seeing that footage again so soon after visiting it. And also, main takeaway, I, I think, yeah, it's quite sad at the end when they talk about his dementia and stuff. And there was a guy, I can't remember who he was now. There was a director who went and visited him towards the end of his life, and he put The Hill on. You know that film we did in 1965, The Hill?
The hill, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they sat on the bed in his bedroom and they watched The Hill.
Uh-huh.
And Sean fell asleep. And then the next day, he was still there staying with him and Michelin. And he said, "Oh, do you want to watch a film?" And he was like, "Yeah." And they went up to his bedroom and he put The Hill on again. Fell
Oh.
asleep again.
What, they
Uh,
actually kept that in the documentary? They
yeah.
showed him getting senile.
No. They didn't show it. He talked about it. The director
Oh,
said,
the
"This is what
director talks about it.
happens."
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So,
So it's a director who directed him in a film in the 70s. I can't for the life of me remember his
Rob,
name, but it
each time
was
you put your hands over your face, you muffle your microphone. So
sorry.
stop
Sorry.
doing that. Stop doing that and stop drinking wine halfway through speaking.
Yeah, sorry.
Just some rules
Um,
for the Zoom, buddy.
yeah. But yeah, no, that was good. And then yesterday I received my new 4K Connery box set, the Steelbook box set.
Uh-huh.
So I haven't had a chance to watch that properly yet, but I did as soon as it arrived, crack it open and just pop You Only Live Twice in because that's the one film that seriously needs some work in
Mm.
terms of restoration, color grading, etc., etc. And I was very pleased with what I saw in terms of picture. Not quite so pleased in terms of audio, but that's a whole separate conversation. But yeah, it's that was so cool to get that. So I can't wait to get stuck into that.
Nice. And the you sent me some pictures. We'll put those in the show notes of all the
Yes.
steel, the books, and you know the inlays
Yeah.
when you open up the steel cases. They look stunning.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously our US friends have had this already for a couple of weeks, but they're only just being shipped now for people who bought them on Amazon.co.uk.
Have they changed
So
the color grading to? I guess you might not spot this, or you might do like suits and like the hat he wore in Doctor No and things like that. Because you know there's different theories on what color certain garments were. Have you noticed anything immediately pop out?
no, not in terms of their garments, just in terms of the overall color palette.
Okay. All right. Wrong person to ask. Very
Hmm.
good. Nice. Nicely done,
What about
Rob.
you? So have you been
Oh,
up to anything Bondian this last week?
well, yes. I went to see From York with Love.
Oh
If you remember,
yes.
we spoke to the
Yes.
director. It's
We
the John Barry
yes.
doc. Yeah, it's like the first of a three-parter.
Yeah, how was that?
Oh, it's okay. So I went down to Balham,
Yep,
which you told me last week is not Clapham, even though
that's
Clapham is
correct.
literally a minute and a half walk.
It's not
I,
Clapham, it's Balham.
I
Balham
was
is Balham. Clapham is
so
Clapham.
fucking angry at you. I texted you, didn't I?
I don't know why. I mean, what's the big deal? It's like Balham
No,
is
no,
Balham,
no.
Clapham
The
is Clapham.
Yeah, all right. The big deal, Rob. The big deal, Rob, is like when you call someone out and like say, "Oh, it's up in Loch Ness." You go, "Loch Ness is not Clapham. Loch Ness is not Clapham." I'll be like, "Yeah, that's fine." There's like 6 hours drive distance between the two.
Oh,
If you
really?
go Balham and Clapham, it's a minute and a half walk. The way you said it was like that's nowhere. The way you said it, you could have caveated it with saying, "Oh yeah, Clapham is just around the corner, but it's not technically Clapham." But you're like,
They're
"It's
next
not
door
Clapham,
to each
not Callum."
other.
Yeah, you could have said that.
They're next door to each other.
Uh, no,
Anyway, so you went to Balham.
I've
How
got
was
to,
the film?
hold on. I've just got to underline something again. It's my "Be nice to Rob" little
Yeah,
motto.
yeah.
I've written it down, and you do make it hard, but I've literally
Um,
underlined it. I said, "Got to be nice,
so
be
hang
nice."
on. So how? So no, well, never mind about that. So how was it?
So, well, very good in a way. So the actual documentary was so Sean gets on stage, does a little speech. I should say it's prefaced also by these two kids that got up and one of them sung "Out of Africa" and this other kid played the piano. So they did like a
Oh,
duet.
really?
It was phenomenal. So I did post a review on the Patreon. I did like a little match report about
Mm.
this John Barry documentary. And effectively, what I wanted to say was it's hard to critique it because Sean, the director, is not a documentary filmmaker by trade. This is kind of like his hobby, right? And
Oh, really?
he said as much. You know, his day job up is
Yeah.
doing some design work. So I
Right.
think it would be unfair to give him like a very hard critique, like you would do a proper documentary, because
Right.
it's not his 9 to 5. But
Okay.
I would say that for all of its frailties, it did play the hits. Like it played all the right songs at all the right moments, and you kept on
Mm.
going through each film, like going, "Oh yeah, this is my favorite." Like Goldfinger, "Oh, this is my favorite." No, it's not. It's Thunderball. That's my favorite. No, it's not. It's a Man with Gold. And so each time certain films came on and certain scores, you were just going, "Oh my God, it's such a body of work."
Of course it is.
It's
Yeah. Absolutely.
and every now and again you do need reminding of things like this. So I felt like the main beats were hit, and if you're a Bond fan going into this, you will not be disappointed. I would
Good.
say like it did feel very episodic, like it was just going from film to film to film without having much of a through line through his life, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I felt like that could have perhaps had a bit more attention, and you know, in fact, Sean, when he did the speech, he thanked me on stage. I've got to say, he thanked me.
Oh,
Yeah, he
that's
goes,
nice of
"Oh,
him.
he goes, thanks Peter Brooker for There Will Be Bond podcast for
Oh,
plugging the." I was like, "Oh, nice one, mate."
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Always good to have
a bit of credit,
compliments and
bit of
yeah,
credit.
absolutely. And you saw
Yeah.
Terry Bamber?
Well, Terry Bamber was at the front of the stage, and he was he wasn't heckling, as it were, but he was basically saying, "Them kids were good. Get the kids back on." Like he wanted an encore, and he kept on
Oh,
shouting for an
really?
encore. Yeah, which was fair enough. They were very good.
Yeah.
But then
Did you get
afterwards,
a chance to have a chat with Terry at all?
well, Terry Bamber. So Terry Bamber, we've had on the show before.
Yeah.
He's worked
Yeah.
on numerous of the James Bond films, like behind the scenes. And I wanted to get to speak to Terry about the river chase from The World Is Not Enough because I know that he
Yes.
worked on that, and I really wanted to speak to him about that. And
Yeah.
so I hung around afterwards. And he just fucking vanished like Batman. I don't know where he went, but I thought, crikey, I'm like 10 minutes I've been waiting for everyone to file out of this venue. I didn't see him. Sean also went, the director. I don't know where he went. So that everyone kind of magically disappeared. I thought, sod this. I'm going to go home. I'm hungry. I'll get a bag of chips on the way. So I did get a chance to speak to Terry.
Maybe they're superheroes.
Sure. Uh, Just so that is it. I think they're going to release the film on like a digital platform, and you might have to make a pledge to one of the charities. So one thing I will
Mm,
say is that you do get all of the music in the documentary because it's a non-profit film, so you didn't have to pay for any licensing. Unlike I think
right.
you have that sort of problem with like various Bob Dylan documentaries or David Bowie
Yes.
documentaries. You can't get to listen to all of the music because of
No.
certain
No
IP.
licensing. Yeah, you
Right.
have to pay. Yeah.
So he's navigated quite cleverly around that by making it non-profit. And so when
Mm.
that comes out, I believe they'll release it online soon. You might have to make a small pledge to the charity.
Well, it sounds like it's worth it, and the charity sounds worthwhile as well, if
Yes,
I
yes, it
recall
was
from what he was saying last week.
Future Talent, I think, which
Yes.
promotes young artists in the UK. So
Yes.
that was good. That was good. And again,
Cool.
I've written a match report on the Patreon page. People can check that out if they want, if they remember. I will just very quickly before we get into the casino minutes, Rob, say that I've done a preview. I've done two. So you're asking what Bondian things we've done this week. I
Mm.
did one video on the announcement of the new director that's
Yes,
been
I saw
announced,
that.
and we'll get into that because that's worthy of the
Yes.
news, of
Some
course.
big news this week.
Yes, we've got some news, and we'll announce that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, whilst I was doing this, I actually really enjoyed this, like these YouTube videos. I'm not so much a fan of like just sitting down and talking in front of camera or like going around and documenting everything and traveling and filming everything. I do it, but I'm not really that fussed about doing it, if I'm honest. But doing like little kind of tongue-in-cheek news reviews and things like that, I feel like I found my truth, Robert. Found my truth. Yes.
Oh.
And just to follow on from that, I was asked to watch a Pierce Brosnan film that's coming out in the cinema. Like this PR company sent me a screener of Four Letters of Love, which is Pierce
Oh.
Brosnan as a painter, like as an Irish painter.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So they sent me a screener, and I watched it, and I said, look, if you guys want me to review this, I will, but I'll review it the way I want to review it, which is like as a piss take, effectively. So I sent them the video that I did of the Dennis Villeneuve thingy, and they said, yeah, fine, yeah, just review it, just do what you want. I was like, great. So I did it,
Okay.
but I can't release it yet because the film's not out. So wait for that,
No.
and it'll be about a month's time. But
Okay.
just because we're doing things here, Rob, are we? We're doing podcasts, we're doing newsletters, and a lot of the time, like today, we're sitting in a summer house. You're sitting in your cottage, and we're baking our nuts off.
We really are.
We were tempted to just say, look, let's sack this off, and we'll do
No.
it when it's
But
better.
there's too much, there's too much going on in our lives. We have to just, if there's
Yep.
a window to talk, we have to grab it.
Because Rob, so anyway, I'll just put a cap in that. I'm really enjoying doing these 5-6 minute reviews, and I'm going to do another one of lots of Bond adjacent films like The Russia House. I watched that, and I'm going to do like a little edit around that. And
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just excited by doing new things because if you think
Yeah.
we've done like over nearly 2 hours now, we're coming up to nearly 2 hours of minute by minute of Casino Royale,
I
and
know.
it's
I
it's been
know.
enjoyable, but it's also kind of feel like you must be feeling this. You want to get on to something else.
Yes and no. I do, but at the same time, I've loved every minute of it, literally every
Oh,
minute.
you and Mark Hernandez.
And lots of other people.
Oh,
but the thing is, it's a source material as well, you know. They
yeah,
give us a lot to work with in each minute.
that's
That's
true.
not true of every film.
That's true. Well, listen,
Mm.
we've gone on for far too long. We need to
Mm.
get into the minutes of Casino
Yeah.
Royale. And how about we do that with a jingle?
I knew it was too early to promote you.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy. So your mistake will be short-lived.
We should also say that my Blu-ray had packed up earlier today, so I wasn't able to record this minute. Thankfully, Rob, you were at hand to record it. WhatsApp it to me. I'm going to play it to you now. But can you remember, Rob, where did we leave it?
So it was just at the beginning of the convalescence, wasn't it? So
Mm.
he was sat in that chair at that beautiful, beautiful location that you've been to, you lucky bugger.
I know. I
Is
was
it
wearing.
Lake Garda, is it? Is that
I think Lake Como, I believe. I
Lake
believe.
Como? Sorry, I always get those two mixed up. Lake
No,
Como.
they're close together, but I believe it's Lake Como. But it's
Yeah. So he was sat there and Mathis was talking to him,
mm,
and then who we think at this point is the traitor.
yeah. Let's get it on.
And then yeah.
Yeah, let's just play. Oh, he's just been zapped, Rob. Oh,
About
right.
about to be zapped.
Oh, he's zapped now. Oh, that's beautiful. Lovely bit of scenery.
Can't hear anything.
There's nothing going on, Rob. There's no music. It's just birds singing. There's Vesper looking at.
Oh, don't mention Vesper.
Oh, there you go. See?
My poor cat.
No, Rob. I'll have to edit you out. Stop talking.
You're right. I can't resist waking you.
Oh, can't resist
Every
waking.
time I do, you look at me as if you hadn't seen me in years.
A bit mushy here.
It makes me feel reborn.
Oh, reborn. Lovely.
Maybe just being born.
Oh, Rob. Well, that was a bit of a quiet minute, I would say.
Yes, it is a quiet minute, but it's a very.
Even you
but
said
it's-
there's no audio. I'm like, Rob, you
No.
recorded it 10 minutes ago and sent me the video. You know there's no bloody audio in this. There's no music. It's literally birds chipping away.
There's a little bit of dialogue. There's a little bit of
I know,
dialogue,
but-
there is. It's yeah. Anyway,
Rob, I play the minute down to the phone. You literally recorded this on your TV 5 minutes ago, sent me it. So you know the first half a minute is just birds chipping away in the trees. And then you go, I can't hear anything. Wait, I've just got to underline it again. Be nice to Rob. Be nice. Just go underline it again. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, takeaways, Rob.
okay. So that green dress,
Mm,
she looks fucking gorgeous, doesn't she?
yeah, she does, doesn't she?
She is so sexy in this scene.
Mm.
Honestly, but for me, it's almost up there with the scene where she's putting her makeup on
Oh, yeah.
earlier.
Oh,
yeah.
you like? Oh, I forgot you like that scene. Yeah.
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 I don't know. She's just gorgeous in this.
Oh,
And I think this scene, you can really see them falling in love.
she's giving him the big eyes, like the sentimental eyes, isn't
Mm.
she? And I think okay, Rob. So it can go one of two ways. I've only just thought about this, but let me speak out. When you're sitting around watching someone sleep, and they wake up, it could be like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Just sitting around watching me sleep. Like, you've seen Planet of the Apes, right? Where the ape is standing at the end of the bed and it's freaky as shit.
Oh yeah.
Vesper standing over your bed, and then you wake up, you're like, oh, hello, that's nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't complain at waking up.
It
to
does help
Vesper.
that you look like Eva Green. I mean,
Yeah. What about you? What are your takeaways from this?
well, okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm reminded of the picture. Now she's wearing that green dress. I remember the really nice picture of her. It's later on when she goes to Venice. I think she wears this dress and she's lying on her back looking at the camera in this like gondola. I'll have to find a picture of it on thunderballs.org and post it on the
Yeah.
Patreon. But I remember thinking this is the best picture of her that I've seen in a long time. And it's such a great shot. The dress, I would love to know who did the dress. I'm sure,
Yes.
who I guess I should know really, but I haven't done.
I was going to say, I thought you might know that.
Well, who did the dress? There's a couple of designers that's done dresses. Jade Packham did dresses for this film as well, but I can't remember.
Okay. 'Cause
Jenny
she had
Packham, I should say.
matching.
Jenny Packham.
She's got matching earrings as well. I noticed the green.
Well,
on
those
her
those will
earrings.
be Sophie Harley. So
Right.
Sophie Harley did the earrings. I mean,
That's-
all the jewelry is supplied, I believe, by Sophie Harley. Certainly the love
Okay.
one, and she did do matching earrings as well.
Yeah, I really like those earrings.
Well, those
matching-
earrings are
matching
like
the dress.
150 quid. They're very, very accessible price wise.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, not that I'm going to wear them.
No,
or
sure.
have anyone to give them to. but
Oh.
anyone out there, if they want a gift for their special other half.
I think it's a very tender minute, this, but it kind
Mm.
of it's not very true to the book in that the I think I prefer the book, the way the book goes into this, because
Well, it goes on for ages, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Supposedly, this
yeah,
section.
because this is the bit where really they do fall in love in the book as well,
Yeah.
but then they have the little road trip afterwards, and
Mm.
I well, first off, you have a lot of conversation with Mathis in the book, and they obviously cut all that out and decided to zap him and drag him off instead. You know, that
Yeah.
that that bit in the book is really nice because he's like talking about, yeah, what's Bond is saying, what's the fucking point? You know, I just get
Mm.
my bollocks swacked. What for this? The good guys, the bad guys, you know, the villains and the heroes all get mixed up, and then they lift some of that and put it in No Time to Die Later. But that's all in the book, and that sort of stuff is brilliant. Yeah, so this is good. Then he goes about my little finger. I'm like, anyway, it's good enough. It's not great dialogue.
I must say, I'm intrigued that they chose green for her dress
Going back
because
to the dress.
green is the color of hospitals because it's a very calming color. That's
Mm,
why you see green a lot in hospitals, in wards, and scrubs and stuff that surgeons wear and that sort of thing. It's always green for that reason. It's a very
mm.
calming color. So I'm sure that was a deliberate thing on their part to put her in a green dress. And she looks bloody gorgeous in it, I
Oh,
have to
she
say. And
does.
what beautiful
Oh,
shade of green. What a beautiful shade. Everything about that dress, the fabric, the texture of the fabric, the cut, the shade of green.
mm.
It's just perfect on her. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Isn't she
It's a
great?
beautiful scene. This a
She's
really important and a
lovely.
very important scene in the film, I'd say.
Eva Green is only 44 years old. Hey, guess what? Her birthday's coming up on the 6th of July. So
Oh,
in a
really?
couple of days, yeah.
Oh,
By the
so
time
she'll
people lose
be
45, yeah, she'll be turned
45.
45, yeah.
Oh, so she's 3 years younger than me.
You're in with a
Oh,
shot, Rob.
I mean, I could be in there.
Don't let anyone
Yeah,
else tell you different.
yeah. We'll have to arrange to meet somehow.
Well, she doesn't do Comic
Cons
Con or anything like that, does
so
she?
no, no, she wouldn't want to meet a potential partner through that anyway. It's a bit weird.
Especially when you have to stand between perspex to get your photo shot.
Yeah, well, yeah, no.
No
Yeah.
touching Eva.
So hang on a minute. So what are we? So we're beginning of July. So that means oh God, she's Cancer.
What does that mean?
She's a Cancer star sign. Oh, that's no good. We're incompatible.
Oh, just for that alone. Just that one reason
Yeah,
alone. Okay.
it's no good. She's moody. She's moody.
Oh,
She'd be
well,
a
you're.
bloody nightmare to live with.
Oh, so what are you then? You must be Cancer.
Oh, fuck off. I'm Aries.
Aries. What
Yes.
is an Aries?
Very lively.
Wait,
Good fun.
Aries and Cancer compatibility percentage. Are you ready?
Yeah, it's not good.
That's not too bad. Love score, 54%. Marriage
It's not.
score, 65%.
Okay, it's better than I thought it would be. It's not ideal. I'm a fire sign. I'm fiery, and
Sexual score,
oh
56%. Mate,
yeah.
you're better than a 1 in 2 chance.
But Cancer are they're very sensitive people, and I can't be doing with that because I'm very forthright. I'm very to the point.
Mm.
I can't be doing with all these sensitive cancers scuttling into their shells, and oh God, no, I can't
You
be
would.
doing with it.
Oh, I love the fact that you'd be turning her away at the door. You
Yeah,
know,
no, she's no,
the
she's
first
no good.
question
No.
on the first date, like, what star sign
Uh,
are you? Cancer.
I
Right,
get I
that's
get
it,
on
love.
well.
I'll
Yeah,
order you the Uber.
another fire sign would be good for me, or Librans. I get on well with them. Anyway, let's
No,
not go
your
down that
okay. So
route.
I've looked it up. Your overall percentage of compatibility is 38%. It's your lowest
Oh, that's
point
not
is
good.
your communication is where you're falling down. You're only at 35% on your communication.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
okay if you're having sex 50%
well, that's
of the
that's
time.
bec
Yeah.
that's because they're sensitive and they don't talk and they just sit there, and I'm the one doing all the talking. So that's why that is.
Well,
So there we go.
that's no
Hmm.
problem for you, buddy, is it?
What star sign are you?
I'm Aquarius.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
that's. I'd say that's more compatible to me than Cancer.
Wait up. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about Eva Green. Aquarius and Cancer compatibility percentage. Oh no, I'm even lower than you, and my
Oh
sexual score is
no!
lower. Oh what?
Oh
I'm only 43% sexual
well,
with
it's okay You've got
Cancerians.
Anastasia, so it doesn't matter because I'm
Yeah.
still single.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Anyway, but yeah, I think that's enough about that minute. Unless there's
You're
something you
more
think, oh,
sexually compatible with Eva Green than I am. That
do,
is a blow. That's a body blow.
do you know what? There's one other thing I forgot to mention about this minute is
All
that we
right.
see a nun.
Oh yeah.
Do you
Do we?
remember? We see it. Yeah, there's a nun walking around the building. In fact, there might be two nuns, but only one of them looks like a nun, is
Mm.
dressed like a nun in a habit.
Rob.
And
Yeah, sorry, go on. We're running out
yeah,
of time
just
on the Zoom.
yeah. So I thought that was interesting that he's being cared for by nuns, and they don't. It's
Hmm.
hinted at in the film just by seeing that nun walking
Yeah,
around
it's
the
like a
corner.
compliment.
But
Very good. I
yeah,
like that. Well, we've got 10
mm.
minutes. Do you want to tap into a bit of news?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Gentlemen and ladies, hold the presses. This just in.
All right, Rob. Well, we have quite a bit of news to cram in, but where do you want to
Okay.
start?
Well, we had a director announcement for the new Bond film this week, didn't we?
We did, yes, we did. Yes. What do you think with Denise Villeneuve?
You mean Denis Villeneuve?
Oh God. Look, we've only just figured out how to say Carrie Fukunaga. When I saw his name crop up, I was like, oh, that's good. And then I thought, oh, that's bad. That's bad. We're gonna spend the next fucking 4 years trying to
It's
pronounce his name.
it's Denis Villeneuve. It's not
Uh,
difficult. It's not difficult. Denis Villeneuve. So I initially was very happy with that announcement,
mm,
in as much as he is a name that people who are passionate about film and know about film will know.
mm,
He has made films that are events.
mm.
Okay. So I haven't seen many of his films. I have only seen Arrival and Sicario.
Oh,
Okay.
you've seen the best two then?
I haven't seen the Dune films because they didn't interest me.
No, they don't interest me either. No.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bloody watch them though, aren't we?
No, we are not. Well, no, actually, I'll tell you, I've seen one. So I mentioned this in the video review that I did. It's
Oh, you have seen one?
yeah, I've seen the first Dune. Yeah, with
Oh, you have.
the
Okay.
remake. Yeah, the remake Dune that he made.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of like you have to lend yourself to all of this kind of sci-fi bollocks. But the main crux
Mm.
that I had was that Timothy Chalamet, look at me, his hair during the fight scenes just
Oh,
flops
yes.
all the way down over his eyes. I'm like, there's no. I've trained with a boxing squad, right? And I have no hair. You have to have your hair back. You cannot fight with your own hair in your eyes. I mean, you're
No.
literally handicapping yourself. There's no way that you can do it. So I was completely out of the movie. When I saw him start doing all them knife fights and his fucking hair's going over his eyes, I'm like, oh God, I'm out. I am out. And
The
the fact
only
that he
thing.
turns up to the premieres with no shirts, just a suit blazer, and I'm fucking well against that. Sorry, go on.
Oh, what Denis Villeneuve does?
No, no, Chalamet, look at me.
Oh, well, fuck
Yeah,
him.
he does
He's
the
not
red
gonna.
carpet, but he goes down there with like his suit dinner jacket, but no shirt on, just goes bare chested, which is
Oh, that's
fine.
bullshit.
Which is
Well,
fine if you look like
if it's like this sort of weather.
look if if you look like Christian Bale in American Psycho, feel free to do that, right? Or Christian Bale pretty much anytime. But if you look like waif thin Timothy Chalamet, right? If you look like you're just going to headline Woodstock, then don't like put a shirt on, please.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go.
I think Denis Villeneuve. I just hope that the next Bond film isn't going to be fucking 4 hours long.
Mm,
That was one initial fear I had with this. Okay, and the other thing, I mean, it doesn't bother me necessarily, but it bothers a lot of Bond fans, Bond friends I have, and I think possibly you as well, in as much as his films are very, very heavy, and a lot of Bond fans are crying
mm.
out after the Daniel Craig era for a more light-hearted Bond, a
Yeah, that's
return
true.
to the sort of Pierce tone, the Roger tone. You know, we've had enough of these story arcs and all of this emotion.
Mm,
They just want a good adventure in the theme of maybe something like Tomorrow Never Dies, you know, something along those lines. And I don't think we're going to get that with Denis Villeneuve because he goes all in with emotion and dark and
mm,
serious. You know,
mm,
Blade Runner 2049 is modern film noir for Christ's sake. You
mm.
know, it's it really is. It couldn't be more dark.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? And Arrival. I mean, Arrival was great. I loved Arrival, but yeah, it's very serious. It's very full on. and Sicario as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, Arrival and Sicario, fortunately, are both around the 2 hour mark, I think. But the Dune films and the Blade Runner 2049 pushing 3 hours. You know, they're like 2 hours 45
Look,
minutes. It's too long. It's
I
too long.
think it depends what you're going to fill 4 hours with, Rob. So, like, No Time to Die was like 3 hours odd, nearly, right? Or two and
Yeah,
a
it's too
half,
long.
two
Yeah,
and
it's
a
far
half.
too. It's
But it's
no,
it's a
too,
lot of
nearly
emotional
3.
bond. I don't need emotional bond. You know,
I don't
I'm
think you need nearly
I'm
3 hours of
Bond
any
is
film.
supposed to be, I've said this a million times. Bond is supposed to be the empty vessel into which we decant our feelings and hopes and our religion and our thoughts and prayers and whatnot. He is supposed to be the vehicle for that. If he's brimming and overflowing with bloody emotion, there's no place for us, is there? No place for me. So I don't mind if it's a 3.5 hour film because I like spending time in the company of characters that I enjoy watching. That's why I've got no problem watching Tarantino films that are that long, or the latest Mission Impossible film, which everyone says is too long. I'm like, I don't care about that. 'Cause-
Really?
yeah, because I like all these characters. I can sit and watch all these characters.
What
It's
about
because
going
of
to
the
the loo?
exposition. I do that anyway.
What do you mean you do that anyway? How can you like
I
you
just
need
go
to have to
out,
leave you have to leave the cinema and miss bits?
no problem. Well, I
Or were you
could
wearing a nappy?
I
You were
could
or
tell
you
you. Well, with No Time to Die, I didn't drink anything all day. Do you remember? I didn't have any water. I completely dehydrated myself for like 24 hours because I didn't want to take a whiz halfway through.
Oh God. See, this is what we're up against. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't have to live your life like that. It's crazy.
Rob, we're going to have to crack on, I think. There is other news, like La La
There is.
Land has released the Majesty soundtrack, I believe. There's
They've
news
just
like that.
announced it.
Yep,
Shipping
yeah.
late July.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So we'll maybe tap into that in the Patreon show. There's also three other actors that have now been shortlisted, rumored to be shortlisted. So
Potential, yeah.
what we're going to do,
Take
I think we're going to knock that into the Patreon show, Rob, because we're
mm,
absolutely cooking in here, and
yes.
I can't stand in
Yeah,
much longer.
there's still quite a lot of discussion about the new film that could potentially happen, isn't there? So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get
So
into that in the Patreon.
we'll do that in the Patreon show. For
Mm.
now, we're going to do, because we've got some listener mail to get into as well. But
Oh yes,
let's do another minute. What minute have we got coming up, Rob?
118.
Thank you. And where did we leave it?
Well, we left it with Bond saying, "If you'd just be born, wouldn't you be naked?"
Oh, well done. Nice line. Okay. We should say that these minutes are sponsored by propstore.com, place to get all of your fancy James Bond memorabilia, replicas, posters, other films as well, and Wild and Heart, of course, my favorite razor brand, Rob. Yours too, I believe. And if you use the discount code Taylors20, you'll get 20% off at the checkout. Links in the show notes to those. Okay, Rob, here we go. We're going to pick it up now. Minute 118, I hope.
If you'd just been born, wouldn't you be naked?
You have me then.
Oh, James.
You can have me anywhere.
I can.
Yeah. Here, there, anywhere you like.
Oh, wow.
Does this mean that you're warming to me?
Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
It's just that not so long ago I would have described your feelings towards me as, I'm trying to think of a better word than loathing.
In fact, I'm a complicated woman.
That is something to be afraid of.
Oh, here we go.
Hello?
Perfect timing.
Oh, Monsieur Mendel. How are things in Switzerland?
My apologies. I do not mean to rush, but 120 million is a large sum of money.
It certainly is.
Oh, certainly is. He's about to say. Mendel's turned up.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what though? It's my favorite joke of the film, and it's going to have to wait until the next minute.
Yes,
It's
it is.
and
It is.
It's
It's
pure
so annoying because you
comedy
know they're
gold.
about to launch into it and then
Yeah.
it cuts off before we get that. I know.
Well, I would say the minutes this week, Rob, have been a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a big reveal because now he knows that he's got Vesper on side as a potential love interest, which he's been lobbying for perhaps for a while, if not consciously,
Yes.
then subconsciously. What do you think?
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%. You can see in her eyes she's in love with him. That is genuine. She's
Mm.
genuinely in love with him. and it's just beautiful, isn't it?
Oh God, you can have me anywhere, here, there, anywhere you fancy, James.
Oh, yeah. And she performs the scene impeccably, I think.
Mm.
She's such a wonderful actress. She really is. It's so sensitively done, this scene. It's incredible, actually, the way it's shot, the way it's lit, the setting, everything about it. And he's
Mm.
pretty good too, actually. I have to say, they both are. It's
Yeah.
it's it's a very sensitive and touching scene, this. It's wonderful.
I actually think this is real chemistry on screen. So
I agree.
I I I'm I can't get behind Bond and Madeline Swan. I don't think they're bad actors necessarily. I don't think there's bad dialogue. There is something. It's like the lightning in the bottle, right? There's just it's either there or it's not. It's the X factor. I
Yeah.
don't think that they have that with Madeline Swan, which
Mm.
kind of throws the whole thing out of the water for me because everything hinges on that love interest between him and Madeline Swan about him making the sacrifice, having the kid, going back, all the longing, I'm not going to lose control, But that whole impact of that storyline depends on whether you believe the chemistry between those two, and if you don't, then
Absolutely.
it's kind of not here, not there. But
Absolutely. I mean, it's vital to the plot of the film.
and you could say that definitely about this, but luckily it is there for what
Oh, most
for what.
most 100%. And it carries on throughout the rest other films, doesn't it? That love. I mean, he's
Yeah,
just, she breaks his heart, doesn't she, as we know later on. But absolutely. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So, what do
Yeah.
we know about Mr. Mendel? Did we do any research on him?
I don't
Although we
remember
brought him up
doing any
earlier
with
on in the
him.
earlier minutes, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I don't think
did.
he's I don't think he's done too much else
No,
of
but
note anyway.
I mean, we literally just see him arriving in this minute, don't we? We we
Mm.
we get more of him in the next minute, which
Mm.
is nice, where it's more comedic. He
Yep.
literally just walks up the path now saying hello and interrupts their little moment together.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's interesting listening to the audio commentary on this scene
Yeah,
or
do the
this minute
Blu-ray. Was it
rather.
because I haven't
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What were you,
So,
what did they say?
well, the one that's of note is the director Martin Campbell and the producer Mickey G. They were saying that filming this was very difficult because of the weather, funnily enough.
Mm. Oh
I
God.
know I'm not allowed to mention the weather,
God.
but that they did mention the weather specifically in this scene because they said that there was a lot of wind and it was
Mm.
very difficult trying to record the dialogue and everything else with all this wind going on. And then they said the sun kept going into the clouds, and they wanted to have sunlight. They wanted, obviously, for the lighting of this, it's very important. And they had to keep stopping and waiting and starting and doing a bit and then stopping and waiting. And they said it was very, very frustrating. And at the end of this scene, which I think is the next minute or maybe even the minute after that, I think the sun does go in altogether, and they
Right.
said they had to tweak it digitally to make it look like it's still sunny to match the previous scenes that they'd shot. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, that to you that must have been like gold. I
Oh,
mean, if
absolutely.
anyone's going to write a book on the weather of Bond, it's going to be you.
And color grading to match previous shots, which I do is part of my work.
Do you
Yes.
think this is? Do you think? So you remember we spoke last week about how someone said we had feedback on the podcast. Someone thought that the minutes were boring. Do you think that this is what he was alluding to?
Possibly, yeah. He did suggest that it should be changed to scenes rather than minutes. I think he might have a point. I don't know.
No. Well, look, he's got a point, but I'm enjoying doing the minutes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
get a deep dive, proper deep dive. But yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, I think my one other takeaway from this minute is that it's such a crucial scene that really does seal their love for one another.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Any more takeaways of this
No, I
minute
think
for
that's it.
you?
I mean, you see some genuine contact, doesn't he? Puts his hand on her shoulder there. I
Hmm.
like the way that she whispers into his ear. I mean, here, there, everywhere, which way? I mean,
Oh yeah.
can you speak any better words into a man's ear?
I
Like
don't
here, there,
think
anywhere you want, darling.
I don't think we've seen that kind of tenderness between Bond and a woman, apart from possibly Tracy.
Oh,
I don't
Tracy,
think we
definitely,
have. I
definitely.
don't think we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great.
It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing, as I said.
Especially as
So
she's also, she's unlocking herself from the burdens of, she's obviously been trapped
Yeah,
by a spectre to
yeah.
follow through on this, try and get the money out of him and the
Mm.
codes and whatnot. So she's still carrying all of this baggage, but here it's
Oh,
a
and
genuine play that she's
it is,
falling for him.
and she's in this dreadful dilemma now because she is genuinely in love with him. You can tell
Yeah.
she is. It's a poor woman. It's terrible.
Anywho, Rob, I think we should maybe crack on with some listener mail. What do you think?
Absolutely, go for it.
Do you have any messages for me?
I have a small surprise from your friends back at the barracks.
Excellent. We have been granted an audience.
All right, Rob. Well, we actually had someone write in this week, and I should say,
When you say write in, do you mean a letter or an email?
yeah, well, like a proper
Send you a
Word
letter?
document. Well, it's a Word document on email.
Oh, on email. Okay,
Yeah.
so he didn't send you a letter. No one sends letters anymore, do they? No.
No. And I'm not going to give my.
Give your home address out on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
A
So
PO box number. Go give a PO box number.
here is the email, though. There will be bond@gmail.com if you want to write a lengthy email. I'd rather you didn't, but if you want to.
Oh yes.
Hey Pete. Also, from
Oh, I think
Steve,
I know who this might be. Steve Spring.
Steve Spring.
Yes.
Steve Spring. Yeah. Hey Pete and Rob. I was late to the party and only discovered There Will Be Bond when Mark Hernandez pointed it out to me at the end of last year. Thank you, Mark. I started at minute 1 of Casino Royale and it has taken me 6 months to catch up. It's been 88 episodes. I was going to look into the hours and minutes of my life that took, but it was just too much effort. Yes, it would. It's taken. Well, think about the minutes it's taken me. I reached out to Pete early on to let him know I was on this journey. He said it was all downhill after the early minutes. That's quite a good joke. So I waited until it. Laughing at my own jokes. I waited until I listened to them all before sending fan mail. I didn't want to look stupid praising it too early on in case the podcast turned shit.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Very, very valid point. I can report the quality started high and has managed to maintain that standard even though Rob joined.
Oh, charming. Charming.
para-
It's meant to be a mate.
I'm paraphrasing. Even when Rob joined full time talking about the weather, Rob has been a great addition, and it's amazing he hadn't done a podcast before. Well, he's been doing them all over the place. You're doing one tomorrow as well.
I am, but yeah, well, let's not talk about
The
that.
few times I've met Rob in real life, I'd never heard him swear. He always came across as someone who doesn't swear, but I fear it won't be long before he tells us what C stands for. Yes. In
Blimey.
fact, didn't I have to tell you to stop swearing at one point? You were getting
Oh,
worse
yes.
than you were
Oh,
getting worse
yes.
than me. Yeah.
We have to change the explicit rating on iTunes.
I know, I have to do that anyway.
It's
Well,
extreme explicit.
ugh, yeah, triple X. I definitely get Pete's sense of humor and thought my sister and I were the only people who said David, like the guy from Independence Day and Mrs. Doubtfire. David, okay, get my lawyer. I'll forget my lawyer. That's the sort of niche shit I love. It's my my favorite podcast. But I'd love to sign up to Patreon, but I got told off by the boss for signing up to one a few months back without telling her. I just need to figure out a way to do it. I might have to open a new bank account. Yes, a new account.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep up the
Yes.
good work, Steve Spring. Thank you, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Steve Spring. Thank you, Steve. That's lovely.
Well,
Really. I'm so pleased that
You know Steve?
you're enjoying it. Yeah, I know Steve.
Is he the breadwinner of the house?
Yes, I believe so.
Then tell his
Well,
fucking missus to zip it. He can fucking
Well-
join a Patreon if he wants to.
I don't know if he's. I mean, I'm sure she's bringing in income as well. I don't know their setup. Maybe she brings in more than he does. I don't know. That's personal. I don't ask.
Well,
But,
I'm asking. Steve, email in next week and tell me who's bringing in the bacon. And if it's you, then you have got no one to answer to in the household, my friend.
You
All
know
right.
what it's like, though. You're married. You know what it's bloody well like. You got to
Oh.
keep them happy. You got to keep them sweet. You know.
I know. We got to crack on. Thank you, Steve. That was very sweet. Alex P. Lamas. We have a jingle for Alex.
Correct again, Mr. Bond. What a quick study you are.
Alex says, so the French pronunciation of Matisse is pronounced similar to the painter Matisse, but the TH is clearly the same as in English. The French
So it's
pronunciation.
Matisse.
So the French pronunciation would sound more like Matisse or Matisse, confirmed by a Parisian neighbour of mine. I love the fact that he's going around asking his neighbours. However, an English person would just say Mathis, as it is said in the film. So for the Bond So for Bond in the movie, it's correct. You know how the English are famous for their proper pronunciations of foreign names. Yes, Denis Villeneuve. No idea how many times Bond reverses in a car, he says. So I had a little back and forth with Alex on this. And I said, well, if that's true, then why does Mathis introduce himself as Mathis? Surely he should be saying Matisse.
Matisse.
Yeah,
Matisse.
Mathis. And in
Yes.
fact, someone on our YouTube, because we upload the audio to the YouTube, Rob, has sent me a link to a YouTube video how you pronounce the word Matisse. Right? And so I'm gonna have to put that in here. I'll cut that in here, so hopefully it will work and you'll hear it now.
What, this actual name, Matisse?
Yes,
so
yes.
not the painter Matisse. This
No,
actual French name.
so yeah,
how
if
you
you-
pronounce and it's
Mathis.
Matisse.
Yes. So
if
this is
you're
how
in
it's pronounced
France.
in French.
Matisse.
There's the clip. Okay, so Rob, you haven't heard that because I haven't managed to get it to you,
No,
but
that's fine.
that's you'll listen back. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, interesting. Okay, this from Joey Fraser. He says on YouTube, "Oh, because I put the Denis Villeneuve thing up, and he's commented on that. I thought it was worth saying. He said he will not honor anything, as in Denis. Even if he'd really tried to do so, it's still Amazon behind him. So basically, Blofeld is running the show. All right. Okay, great. Well, look, so I wanted to. I don't get the whole Bezos and Blofeld thing. I think it's just the looks. It's the similar looks.
Yeah.
I do wish people. By the way, it's a really fucked out gag. People just going around going, "Oh, now Blofeld's in charge." What? Because he's rich? Because he's fucking employing people. He's got his own empire
and bald.
And bald. But I just
Rich
think
and bald.
I just think it's I wish people would get out of this phase of saying that just because Elon Musk has got money, he should be the next fucking villain of the piece. It makes no sense. Like I'd rather have people in positions of power that are employing people that can pay taxes so that the world can keep on spinning. That's the way I see it. And the same way I feel with Amazon. And the same way I feel with Bezos. He's just a guy who had an idea, he ran with it, and he made shit tons of cash. I'm sorry about that. All right. But he is employing shit tons of people. And you do order stuff every fucking day, and it arrives the next fucking day after that. So how about... by the way, what have you guys done? You know, how many people do you employ?
At least he's getting stuff done.
Exactly.
We have producers and a director now within X number of weeks of the announcement of the takeover.
And not just
of
any
Creative
producers,
Control.
some of the best producers on the planet right now, and and one of the best sought after directors.
Absolutely, 100%. So, you know, things are moving and they're moving fast, and this is a good thing.
Right. And so, I've got one. Okay. And this guy, Supersonic 001, also said, please make an effort to learn one French word. You are British. Villeneuve. Your pronunciation is making our ears bleed. Look, clearly it's a piss take. But I do have a little jingle for you guys. Ready?
Enough of this useless banter. Farewell, dear shithead. Farewell.
That's my my wonderful jingle. Okay, I do appreciate all correspondence, even the ones that tell me to go fuck myself. I'm happy. I'm happy that people are engaging. So please carry it on.
Yes.
Rob, I think that's probably about it. Shall we crack on with the Patreon show? We've got one thank you. Yes. Oh, while Steve Sprigg also wrote in, he bought a map as well whilst he was there. He bought one of the London Bond maps. So you get a thank you from M.
Oh, thank you.
Rob, we have got to crack on. Time is getting on. We've got a Patreon show. So we're going to do lots more news. We're going to still drill down a little bit on the Denis Villeneuve thing.
Denis Villeneuve.
I want to get into these Bond acts. Don't you bloody start. We got some of the Bond actors.
Denis Villeneuve.
We got the Bond actor news. The shortlist. Well, that's been announced. Yeah. And so we'll get into some of that.
Take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. And if we got time, I watched F1 last night with Brad Pitt in it. And do you know who turned up in F1?
Who?
Villiers from Casino Royale, Tobias Menzies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the main. Spoiler: he's the main bad guy.
Oh no, you really have spoiled that now.
But you know he's the bad guy because he's the one with the money. A bit like Bezos.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so
there
it's
we
just the
go.
trope now. Anyone that's got the money
Yes.
is
Anyone with
instantly,
money
yeah,
is evil.
is just evil personified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot to discuss there, isn't there? Anyway.
Shall we? Okay. All right, Rob. Well, that's been the minutes. Casino Royale. We should say that we're not going to be around for a free show next week because I'm going to Orlando to look at the devastation to my holiday home.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you very much. We will try and endeavor to put a Patreon show out so that the
We
Patreon guys
will.
have something to listen to.
We will.
But until next time.
Ciao.
We're gonna have to crack on. We got loads more news, but we got the la 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 rank la 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 rec. Fuck.
La 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 la.
Fucking Jesus Christ. No wonder we never get this done.